Good to have you join us yet again. It's News Track and it's live on the Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Here are top stories at this hour. 42 persons have died and 100 others are set to be following a boat mishap are set to be injured. That's 100 others. Following a boat mishap yesterday in Malili village in Borgo, a local government area of Niger State in north-central Nigeria. Now, the public relations officer of the State Emergency Management Agency, Ibrahim Hussaini, told Channels Television that the incident occurred as the passengers, mainly traders, were returning from a market in Malili to Tungailo village across the river Niger. He explained that the boat, believed to be carrying over 150 passengers, capsized midway into its journey. He said swimmers from Malili village swung into action immediately they heard about the mishap and recovered 42 bodies from the river. He added that the search and rescue operation was continuing at the scene of the incident. Kaduna State Governor Mukhtar Yaro is worried over the security situation on Birnin Gwari following Thursday's attack on two commercial banks in the area. The governor made the comments during a visit to the scene of the attack, accompanied by the Kaduna State Police Commissioner Olufemi Adenaike, who confirmed the death of two officers.
As I tell you yesterday, they started attacking with a lot of IEDs, and they were firing all over the place, scaring people away. But my men and the soldiers woke up and rose up to that challenge, and they actually gave them a fight. It was due to this fight that they couldn't penetrate any of the three banks that they attacked. And they had to leave with their wounded ones or dead ones, and they ran away. So I'm here to actually see for myself what happened. Police, we lost 2 men, 2 sergeants, and the army lost 1 man.
Felt really, really bad. These things are happening for the second time. The same banks and the same system that were used previously. And it's a source of concern and worry. But the good thing is that the security agencies that were around have done a good job by attacking them also, and at the same time by making them to run away. But at the same time, we have to still look at the whole issue and see the security arrangement of this area so that we ensure that this thing does not happen again by God's grace.
A Nigerian citizen, Lawal Babafemi, has pleaded not guilty in the United States Federal Court in Brooklyn to helping recruit English-speaking people in Nigeria for an al-Qaeda affiliate. U.S. District Judge John Gleeson yesterday ordered Babafemi held without bail. Mr. Babafemi, also known as Ayatollah Mustafa, was charged with 4 counts, including conspiracy to provide support to a foreign terrorist organization in violation of Title 18 of the United States Code. He faces life in prison if convicted on firearms charges and up to 15 years in prison on the charges of material support. The Federal High Court in Abuja last month granted the request of the federal government to extradite Babafemi to the United States. Now, the Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, to recognize Professor Adewale Oladipo as the National Secretary of the party. Justice Abdulkadir Abdulkafarati asked the PDP to straighten its records within 3 days to reflect the replacement of former Osun State Governor Olaguse Oyinlola with Professor Oladipo. Our judiciary correspondent, Shola Shoyele, reports.
On the 11th of January, the Federal High Court in a judgment had held that the former Osun State Governor, Prince Olaguse Oyinlola, was not validly nominated to the position of the National Secretary of the PDP. The court therefore ordered his removal and directed the conduct of a fresh Congress by the Southwest PDP for the purpose of nominating a replacement. After the conduct of a fresh Congress, which returned Professor Adewale Oladipo, the executives of the Ogun State PDP, led by Chief Adebayo Dayo and Alhaji Semi Oshodipo, had brought a fresh application to show that they had complied with the January 11 judgment. Justice Abdul Kafarati, in granting their reliefs, first rejected the arguments by the defendants, Oyinlola and the PDP, who were not present in court for the ruling. The court did not agree with the defendants that it was finished with the case after delivering judgment, especially as the judge held that the fresh application was not meant to reopen the case, neither was it to effect changes to the earlier delivered judgment, but to regularize the steps taken in compliance with the judgment. In its ruling, the court first granted an extension to July 13 this year, the time limit for the conduct of the Zonal Congress, which produced Professor Adewale Oladipo. Then the court deemed his nomination as proper and in due compliance with the judgment of January 11. The defendants were not in court, but here's the reaction of Professor Oladipo, whose nomination has now been recognized by the court.
All positions were zoned to particular states. The post of National Secretary was given to Osun State. And, along the line, some things happened. And I think the judgment today has corrected that anomaly, where the National Secretaryship of the party will move from Osun State to another state. It's an abnormal situation. And I think this judgment has corrected that. I give kudos to our leaders.
The court also directed the PDP and INEC to within 3 days comply with this ruling and recognize Professor Adewale Oladipo as the National Secretary of the party in place of Prince Olagunsoye Oyinlola. From the Federal High Court, Abuja, Shola Shele reporting for Channels Television News.
Let's go on a quick break now, and when we come back on News Track, where trade ministers from the ECOWAS sub-region staged a meeting to discuss on a uniform economic tariff for their countries. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Economists, strategists, journalists, policy makers, everyone has one question.
What are young people thinking and talking about right now?
The conversation is ongoing on Rubbing Minds, live on Channels TV every Sunday at 3 p.m. and online at channelstv.com. Follow the conversation online on www.yniger.com/rubbing-minds and on Twitter at ynigertv with the hashtag Rubbing Minds.
I'm your host, Ebuka Obi Uchendu, and you've never seen young people talk like this before.
A YTV and Channels Television production.
Welcome back. Of course, you can get all of our top stories and other programs on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. To get us on the move, visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on the iPad, iPhone, or BlackBerry. And you can also download the Channels TV app for the Android and Nokia 920 devices from their respective stores. Trade ministers in the West African sub-region have ratified a decision to adopt and implement a uniform economic tariff. At a meeting in Abuja, Nigeria's federal capital, they acknowledged that the delay in adopting the tariff could hinder proper integration among member states. Nigeria's Minister of Trade and Investment, Olusegun Aganga, says intertrade between ECOWAS states has fallen short of expectation, with the level as low as 10%.
No nation has successfully moved from being a poor